December 18th, 2014, Mary Beth was scheduled for a biopsy, and so she went back in the room, and I sat out in the waiting room. I was doing some work, getting ready for everything we had going on at church, and listening, and I hear the muzak, or the instrumental music that's going on in the background. And then all of a sudden it hit me, part of the way into the song, I hear the song by Carrie Job, I Am Not Alone. You will never leave me. You will go before me. All of these things, and I love that song. And then it went back to the instrumental music. Just one of those things that I kind of filed in the back of my mind. On the 23rd, we had our first Christmas performance. We had sound check. We had to be there, by I think like 4 o'clock. And so just before that, around noon, we were scheduled to get the results of the biopsy. And so they brought us back in and told us it was, in fact, malignant, and she did have breast cancer. Knowing that in just a few hours, I had to sing one of the songs, and I had told our team a couple months before that the one song that we could do anything else, but the one song that has to be in the production is the song Fear Not.
The Prince of Peace that whispers to your soul, fear not, our God is with us. Emmanuel redeemed.
It seemed like we had every week or every few days we were meeting with specialists, and they were talking about her type of breast cancer, and she had triple negative breast cancer, and I'd never even heard that term before. We had all of this information that was just hitting us. Everything just seemed like a fog. It didn't even seem real. And we had a family meeting with the girls, and we talked about 2014 being a year of obedience, of being willing to say yes even when you really didn't want to. We were happy, and we were enjoying our life in Florida, but God was speaking to us and leading us to move here to California. But 2015 was going to be about trust. And the scripture that Mary Beth had going through her mind and in her journal and things that she had talked about was Psalm 112:7, that they do not fear bad news, but they confidently trust the Lord to care for them. She had read this book called 1,000 Gifts from Ann Voskamp, and it talks about the different graces and the things in our lives that we can take for granted so often. And so she began to write three different things that she was thankful for each day. Things like, I'm thankful for the birds singing. I'm thankful for the girls' laugh. One in particular, when she was going through treatment, was, I'm thankful that today I have the strength to do a load of laundry by myself. On July 22nd, we found out that there were multiple lesions in her liver, and at that point, probably 2 to 4 months is what she was given. And we went home that day, and she didn't cry about it, but she, was honest. I don't want to die. I want to grow old. I want to see grandkids. I want all of those things. She sat down in a chair and she had said, "But God told me, God spoke to me and told me that it was going to be okay." And she sat there and thought for a few minutes, and I was doing some things and came back, and she said, "I guess his okay and my okay don't have to be the same." By Saturday, we had to have a bed brought in, And then on Monday, the 27th, hospice came in, and she was at a point then that we knew that it wasn't going to be long.
She was someone who prayed really hard. She was an advice giver. I talked her ear off a lot, so she was a good listener. She was feisty to the people that really knew her, and she was a worshiper, and she was a fighter physically and spiritually.
She liked to dance too.
I've learned many things through the process, but one thing that keeps coming back to us is that we can't do this on our own. We need to get closer and deeper in our relationship with God, but also know that there are people that we need to lean on, and that any situation that we face, we can either run from it or we can try and embrace it and say, God, I don't know what this journey holds, but I know that you're with me. That just because something doesn't look how we think it should look doesn't mean that He's not a good God. And He's always has our best interest in mind, and that He is for us, and He's not against us, and we can lean into Him and know that there's hope.